On behalf of this episode's guest, Lee Hanning, the episode is dedicated to the memory of Syliva Young, who passed away shortly after this recording took place. Lee is an alumni of Syliva Young's Theatre School. Welcome to this extended episode of I Barely Know You. And today I barely know Lee Hanning, who started life out as a child actor, then he grew up. Then he went into fitness training and has evolved into many things, such as owner of a football club, and he also owns other businesses. Am I right?
That is correct, yes.
Welcome, Lee. Thank you for agreeing to be our first extended episode.
It was never a question, Baz. Never a question.
So, first things first, how do I barely know you?
How do you barely know me? Where do I start with that?
So football versus cancer.
So football versus cancer, when we first started that back in, that would have been, I don't know, it's a good few years ago now. I was fit then, I could play. Now
Yeah,
I
I
struggle.
used to be able to fit into clothes back then as well.
Yeah.
I want to say it was 2018.
Yeah, sounds about right.
Was it? That was the one where it was, because I had really trimmed
Baking
down
hot.
that year. It was baking hot, and you do that
Absolutely.
thing. I remember I was like, I don't know who Lee Hanning is, because that year I wasn't. I was kind of like, I'm just going to wing it, and I was really tired. I ended up just arguing with people on camera. But I pointed the camera at you, and you said, "I'm quite fortunate because I got one of them body tops what don't sweat much."
That's it.
And
That's it.
I can say it word for word because I've watched that
And
clip
that
so
has
many
stuck with
times.
you.
Yeah.
I was breathing in as well, Baz. It was really hot that day.
So football versus cancer is it's billed as a celebrity football match that raises money for cancer. It does do that. Not everybody is a celebrity, which is why I pushed to rebrand everybody as legends. But with the legendary status, you get to focus on people either behind the scenes or people who are important to the people who people want to see. And I guess you fall into that, Lee, don't you?
That's very harsh. Very harsh. I was at the top of my. Yeah, no, I do fall into that category, I think, yeah.
But you also were in some iconic TV programs as well, so you have that
I did.
qualified you as well. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So go
Absolutely.
on then. Let's start with you, not other people. You were in Grange Hill.
Yes, I went to the Syliva Young Theatre School
Yeah.
as a kid growing up, and it was the prime sort of era, really. I would consider for Syliva Young's. I've done the Raw Variety performance 2 years on the trot. I've done
Oh
Grange
wow.
Hill. I've done a little bit in EastEnders. I've done a number of different things as we was all growing up kids, and some have gone on to do some fantastic things, and some, well, everyone's gone on to do fantastic things. Some in front of the camera, some behind the camera, some in their own
Mm.
walks of life, and you know, for me, I don't think I would be able to run my own business had I not got the confidence I got actually from that period of my life,
Mm.
which was, yeah. So it's good, and you know, I was at the same time I was in school at the same time as people like Nick Pickard, who's hopefully playing this year, and Denise Van Outen, and you know, you could get, the list goes on. Syliva Young's was a fantastic sort of breeding ground for the majority of the West End, really, and a lot of EastEnders, and you know, so many things coming through. So that was a great school, and
Because
above
they
all, it
do
just got confident.
I mean, programs and definitely the soap operas. They do cast their net over drama schools, not just prestigious like Sylvia Young or the Brit Academy. Is it the Brit Academy?
Yeah, Brit Academy, and there was Anna
But
Shearer at the
there's
time.
also just actual just youth theatres. So I
Yeah.
remember ending up on TV through a youth theatre, just sort of casted a net at us
Mm.
and picked a few of us out, and some of the people. We'll get to that actually.
We'll
Another
get
fun
to
game
that.
with that later. Yeah.
Okay.
So in Grange Hill, were you a series
I had a
regular?
massive part in Grange for 2 3 years. I had the odd line here and the odd line there. I think the best I got was boy number two. But in my mind, it was working up at Elstree
Mm,
for that period of time, and that was where EastEnders was filmed as well on the next set along, and you're
yeah.
walking in and into the canteen, and you're seeing people that you've seen on TV, and there was a big thing actually with going to the school, because you take a lot of that for granted actually. And there's a big thing going to the school that you never ask anyone for their autograph, because they're as important to the scene as what you are, and so it was really drummed into you, and that's the way that I've always sort of more so live my life. But
Mm,
I think back in the time in those early days, Baz, I think Sylvia Young's and Brit and Brit School and Anna Shares and Barbara Speaks, they were all the top end of what it was, and Sylvia's was number one,
mm,
really, through reputation, because there was opportunities that were coming on. And in answer to your first bit, I think originally people, casting agents certainly did go to the likes of Syliva Young Theatre School for the cast members that they wanted, whether it be music videos
yeah.
or whatever. And I think as that's developed, there's more and more schools that have opened up, and but I think Sylvia's was back in the time, it was an original sort of thing. And I think in that time, it was interesting because people see theatre school people as singing and dancing and jazz hands and this, that, and the other. And back in those days, it wasn't really like that. It was, Sylvia tried to encourage, I felt, was encouraging people with character and try
Mm,
and bring their characters out. So the discipline wasn't as strong as what perhaps it should have been. And of course, with the grading of schools and everything else that's come on now, that's changed massively, because that becomes more of an important factor. Talent, of course, is important, but you can't just get away with talent now. You have to have the academic side
mm,
to back it up. But Sylvia had all the top teachers within the industry at that time. That was a massive thing for the school. And I think a lot of us obviously benefited from that. And as I say, I don't think I'd be doing what I do now if it wasn't for going to that school, because it enables me to talk to people like you, Baz, and not feel intimidated.
Nobody should ever feel intimidated by me. So obviously, some it gave you some life skills.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Talk about giving you some confidence as well.
I can tap
Um,
dance.
yeah, because
Yeah,
those are just they're disciplines, really, aren't they?
well, in back in those days, we done Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday was school days, as it were. They were all school
Mm,
days, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday was academic days. So it was your maths and your English and your drama, and you might have a few singing lessons in there as well. But in the main, it was your French and chemistry and all of those things that everyone, normal schools at the time do.
mm,
Thursday and Friday was purely singing, tap dancing, ballet, jazz, any sort of dance, street dance when it first come in, and acro, where we were taught how to do backflips and things like that.
wow.
And it was and no, I can't do that now, Baz. Can't do that now. Put me back
Well,
out. But that was
we
what
don't
we
have the
done.
space
So
for it.
it was instead of PE. We done that instead of
Yeah.
PE. And that was a bit of a miss for me, because I've always been quite a sporty person. But I just we just when I most people that go to school, they might know, they might still see at the age of 50 or speak to 4, 5 people from school, and if you're really lucky, it might be a bit more.
Mm.
I can hand on heart say that, through Facebook's a wonderful thing, obviously, but I'm seeing people that I went to school with on TV all the time, and I'm seeing
Mm-hmm.
people still are walking around, and we have that bond because we all went to Sylvia's,
Mm.
and I still see Sylvia quite often as well, which is lovely, So it was a different school, and it was one that certainly grounds you moving forward. It was fantastic.
I don't think people realise that this sort of mental and physical toll acting requires,
Mm,
because you're not just delivering a line. There's the emotional memory is staying in the character. There's also hitting your marks. There's
yeah,
also choreography.
yeah.
If you're doing dance, I mean that's repetitive. So yeah, I would imagine that was quite a hardcore time
It was a
for
hardcore
you.
time.
Yeah.
It was one that everyone that went to the school always think back with fond memories of that time. But it wasn't necessarily the lessons. It might have been the teachers that were not ordinary teachers. You get a drama teacher that's renowned throughout the world, and when telephones were just coming out, she would pick up a phone mid sentence and just throw it out the window because we weren't
Yeah.
allowed phones to our classes. Not even no consequences to it, and for to have characters like that, the piano teacher would sit there with a cigarette out of his mouth and would be playing. And I remember actually, Baz, when first singing class, I went to the school and I sat there, and I was quite a shy kid really, and they were doing this song, and I was going around the room with solos, and a new guy that had just started on the same day as me, and he said, "Oh, I'm not ready to sing." And the teacher just slammed down his piano and said, "Well, what are you doing here then? What are you doing here? Why is your mum and dad paying for you to come here when you're not even going to sing and I can't teach you? Get out."
Yeah.
So the next time it come to me, obviously I just sang, like good or bad, I just sang, and that was it. But they're the sort of things that you think and what you remember. It's the talent of the teachers was fantastic to get the best out of people.
Mm.
You had the likes of Amy Winehouse came through that school, Rita Ora. You could go on and go on. I mean, real high names in the West End. Maz Murray and who's in Mamma Mia, or was in Mamma Mia.
Mm.
They all started there, and their confidence, and they learnt. But it was fun. It was just fun, and we just enjoyed every minute of it. Actually, it's good.
Mm. That's great that you shared that with us, because, like I said, not many people know that journey.
No,
There's I did it minimally. Like, I studied it at school. I studied drama. I was part of a youth theatre, and I've kind of been in and around stuff, and I've done little bits for radio here and there, but
well,
never really
I
as a
stopped.
discipline.
Absolutely, I stopped that at
Mm.
16, and if you can imagine, I've performed at London Palladium, Dominion
Mm.
Theatre, the Barbican. You could just go on and on. All these great theatres. We used to do cabarets, and it would be like, "Oh, we've got a cabaret on Saturday night." Oh, right, okay. And we'd so we'd all meet up on the Saturday at the school, and we get a bit of lunch, and okay, we're going to stroll down there now, and we stroll down to Park Lane, and we're going in the Grosvenor Hotel, and they're putting us out the back, and then we're going out, and we're doing a cabaret, and there might be, I don't know, 20 of us, something like that, and we're
Mm.
doing a cabaret, and there's 2,000 people in a in a for a bar
Mm.
mitzvah, and all of those things that you do, they're all experiences that you learn from, and not one of us had any real fear because we'd done it so much. You
Yeah.
imagine a 15, 16, 14, 12-year-old kid going standing in front of, that many people and being asked to sing and dance, not to the level that you do at your school play. We're talking professional level. Everything
Mm.
was just, the rehearsals were relentless. It was just everything down to an absolute sort of T, and excuse me, I wasn't one for dancing wasn't one of my things that I wanted to do. I enjoyed singing.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the acting part of it, but at that school you had to do everything, and it was really eye opening, because it does give you confidence to be able to stand up in front of people or speak to anyone in any walk of life. So, you know, would recommend it to anyone out there for sure.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Right. So after acting, so you get to
Mm.
16. What
Yeah.
happened? Did you just crave regular work, or was it a case of this isn't really for me anymore?
I think it was, there was, at 16, there was a different agency that you went to, and we all had opportunities to be able to go and do that. For me, I missed sport in
Mm.
the period that I was there. But I wouldn't have not done all the other stuff at all. But I just missed sport. So I wanted to sort of, and if I'm honest, I probably wanted to earn a pound note somewhere along the line,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
with it, the acting world, you don't know where that next job's coming from. You could do an advert and they pay you lots of money and you think fantastic, and you might not get another advert for 8 months.
Mm.
And then all of a sudden that money's not so fantastic, or and unless you're fortunate, and you might get in it with EastEnders, or you might get into, Nick got into Hollyoaks, didn't he, and he'd done all that, and he's still there, and that's fantastic,
Mm.
because he's earned a career, and there's so many of 'em, Alex Walkinshaw, and that have done really, really, really well from it, and then but it just wasn't what I didn't feel like. It wasn't that I never felt that I was good enough, because it gave you that confidence to make you feel you did. But I was trying to be realistic with myself, and I wanted to take things into my own sort of hands. So yeah, I went to done a BTEC National Diploma in Leisure Studies,
Mm.
and I thought that was just going to be sitting on my arse doing nothing. But it turned out there's a bit of work in that. And my first year work experience I had done at West Ham,
Yeah.
which was football in the community, which I then went on and done a number of coaching courses in Folkestone, and done the penalty shootouts for the supporters at half time, and I'm in and around these footballers that at the time, obviously, I'm thinking that's where I want to be, but I was never really good enough for that either. And then the second year I went into more personal training, and I worked for a company called the Fitness Exchange up in Broadgate by Liverpool Street, which
Mm.
again was a fantastic company to work for at that time. And that was just work experience. And at the end, I got offered a job there, and I got offered a job back at West Ham as well, which actually, I'm so glad I've done the way. Being a Spurs fan, I'm so glad I went the way I did. But
Yeah.
and that just developed and developed, and I was manager of a club at the age of 24, I think, in the city, which was, it's quite grown up. It's
Mm.
I had some very, very influential people in and around me there. Brendan Sainsbury had done a lot of running, and he was quite a shy guy, but he took me under his wing. Caroline Bryant, who worked at London Bridge, was fantastic as a manager, and she just brought things out of me. But we used to just giggle the whole time. I mean, there's a
Yeah.
number of people that you could, but but those two in particular stand out. Toby Bromwich as well as one of the directors. They all stood out as really quite influencing me where I sort of went in life, and I ended up at we was having refurbishments done at a club I was at Cutler's Gardens, just by Liverpool Street, and I got asked to go out to Beckenham, which was losing a lot of money at the time, and
Hmm.
there was I was in there as joint manager because the manager was two peed over, and it was losing a lot of money, and I just thought, actually, you know what? I saw in the paper that Crystal Palace needed a training ground, so I just got on the phone with my confidence and spoke to the managing director at the time, who was Phil Alexander. Got them down to have a look at the facility. Next thing we knew, I had to phone my boss and say, "Oh, I've got Crystal Palace using us as their training ground now. Oh, I need to build a gym more." And then I go around the other clubs because I knew their managers and nick some running machines and bikes. And, all of a sudden we're selling memberships at £25 a month. And my boss at the time was a little bit in disbelief, but it worked. And that was the last 2 years that I had. By that time I was in a suit. I didn't want to train anymore. That had passed me by. My fitness times had passed me by, um, and um, and of course I met Neil Roosevelt, which didn't really help my body type. Baz,
So we will get onto that.
we'll do
Um,
that.
there is what I've noticed, a kind of tactical intelligence about you.
No
There's a
comment.
lot, there's a lot of, no, I'm saying that there's a lot
Yeah,
of
yeah,
connecting of dots.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is that something that's natural within you? Is that something you learn through college, or is that just, you just a
Well,
natural kind of
I don't know.
witted?
I think the confidence comes from really the early days in the theatre school, and
Mm,
that moves on to going to college. College wasn't really for me. I didn't really, that wasn't. I knew I wanted to do something. I wanted a job. I wanted a career, and I'm quite driven,
mm,
generally, as a person. I try to look on a positive side to everything. And one of my teachers said at college, turned around and said, "If you're going to talk bullshit, talk confident bullshit." And I've always
uh-huh.
tried to talk confident bullshit, Baz.
I feel
But
you. I feel
with
you.
a little bit of substance behind now. So
Mm.
that's. But jokes aside, that was my mentality. If I wanted something, I've always sort of, I suppose. I suppose I'm a fairly natural salesman. I don't mean to
Mm.
be a salesman. I'm just myself, and people
You've
will
got a
take me on.
warmth. There's a warmth, like you're very easy to buy into. Because
Ye-
I remember when I first met you, and I'm for my own reasons wary of Essex lads, only
Really?
because I may have had bad experiences in the past.
Right.
So I only know or I only knew what I knew. So when I saw you, and obviously I was getting to know Razor, I was just a little bit kind of, okay, I'm just going to keep my arms distance. But just more and more as you talk, there's this just sort of warmth, and it's almost like a family
Do you
vibe
know what it
that
is?
you
I've
guys
got a
give off.
massive, I've got a massive family. My family are really important in my life, and they
Mm.
always have been. And my nan was 86, and sadly, when she passed away having pie mash and listening to Chaz and Dave.
Mm.
We're from Walthamstow, which is not Essex, Baz. How very
Okay,
dare you? But no, from Walthamstow, and I
my
think.
bad.
Not at all. And I've got an auntie and uncle that lived down the road, and my cousins who lived down the same road. They were like brother and sister, and I've got three additional brothers. And that's and a real close. My mum's got. Oh God, better get this right. One, two, three, four, five. There's five of them, and they've all got kids, and so I've got cousins everywhere. And my dad, my nan and granddad from my dad's side lived around the corner. My dad is actually my mum's related somewhere along the line to my mum. No, sorry, my dad. No, that sounds a bit wrong. Let's get this right. My
Yeah, please
dad's
do.
dad and my uncle's mum were brother and sister. and they both married sisters. So it's all like quite
Right.
connected. But that's why I got two heads, I think, Baz. No.
And where did I get Essex from? Is it? Do you guys live in Essex now, or is
So
it
I
just
was in Essex. I did live in Saffron
right?
Walden. I now live
Okay.
in just outside Cambridge there in Haverhill. And yeah, but I've I also had a house in Woodford Green. Maybe that was at the time.
Hmm.
Razor used to live in Essex. He now lives in Ashford.
So Ben
Um,
Jones from Essex as well.
Ben Jones is more Crawley. He's the Crawley,
Crawley.
The
Okay.
Gatwick bomber.
You
Yeah,
see
no,
how I
he's
just
the.
tarred you all with the Essex brush?
I know. See what I
Yeah.
mean?
So
But we're all
kind of.
very similar. And
Yeah.
although Ben Jones does tend to wear no socks with his
Okay.
shoes. Now that's a very Essex thing to do.
Okay.
But
Okay.
I'm not going to
So
tell him because he's a boxer.
no, no. Yeah, I'm. Yeah. Ben is another one. Right. Let's do this
Anyway.
because we're kind of almost name dropping, and name dropping is obviously very shallow. But let's go for it. Right. Let's have a name drop off.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. All
So
right.
you start. Your best mate is
Neil Ruddock.
Neil
Neil Razor
Ruddock,
Ruddock.
who played football for Liverpool, Spurs, West Ham, Crystal Palace, and the one cap for England, which he does like to remind people of. Larger than life character. I worked with Ray Park, who played Darth Maul in Star Wars.
Oh, right. Very good. Very
I
good
see
one.
your razor, and I raised him a Darth Maul.
Right.
Yeah.
I will raise two because I saw her in Monaco this weekend.
Oh,
Denise Van Outen.
okay. No, that's a good one. That's a good one. I don't know if I've got Denise Van Outen caliber, but my cousin, I think third cousin, is Paul Elliott.
Oh,
Which,
yes.
yeah,
I knew that. I
but
knew that. I knew that
no,
about
but
you.
when
Yes.
I met Paul Elliott, I went, I'm distantly related to you. And he went, ah. I spent my whole life being told I'm related to, and I idolised Paul Elliott, and I met him and he shut me down. But then I saw him have a conversation with Ricky Hill.
Right.
Ricky Hill and my dad were really good friends,
There
and I
you are.
saw Ricky verify me.
Excellent.
So yeah,
All right.
okay,
Fair
your
play.
move.
Next one, I'll go Chaz and Dave as they were.
Oh,
Throwing it in. Throwing it in. They were at my wedding. Happiest day of my life.
oh,
That
not
was for a
just
few
that,
years.
at your wedding.
Yeah.
That's
Only for a
amazing.
few years. But yeah, that they were they were played at my wedding. That's a good one to pull in there. Baz. Over to you.
You're clearly going to win. So I went to youth theatre with Pooja Shah, who was Karina Ferreira in EastEnders, and also one of her last acting jobs was with Idris Elba.
Ooh, very impressive. All right, we're gonna keep on the acting theme then, Baz.
Okay.
And I'm gonna raise you with Nick Pickard. The legend that is from Hollyoaks for the past 30 odd years.
Yeah. See, this is hard because quite a lot of the people that I've met, you know, because you've met them
Yeah.
too at the same
Listen, you
event.
go
So I'm
for
trying
it.
to go left of. So my friend, and I say friend, I speak to her every week, and I actually produce trailers for her podcast. And I used to do a podcast with her. Is a lady called Cinda Williams in the States.
Right?
Her first film, she was a lead female character in a film with Denzel Washington, Wesley Snipes, Samuel L. Jackson, and
That's not
directed by
bad.
Spike Lee.
That is not bad. That is not bad.
There's a lot of
So
justification on it, though.
yeah, there is. Yeah. Well, gonna have to pull out Spice Girl Emma Bunton.
Oh,
There's not many.
from where she's from.
She's from. I used to travel to school with her every day. She was in my class at school.
Oh, so she went to Sylvia Young.
She
She
did.
grew up
Yes.
in Finchley, and I'm from
She
Finchley.
did. Yes,
Hmm.
she did. And we used. I was brought up in Walthamstow, as I said, and I used to
Hmm.
get on the Victoria line, and she used to join me at the Victoria line, and we used to go to school every day.
She's the best one out of a lot of them as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Um,
Over to you.
I know Razor. No, so I can't use people that we've been at the same event to because
Okay.
that's a bit
Yeah.
rubbish.
Otherwise, we're going to be here for hours, Baz.
Yeah, I mean I've got loads of randoms that
I'm
probably
going to go
don't.
one more for you. And then finish it.
Well, I know what you could win with, but I may feed it to you.
I'm going to go with one more.
Go for it.
John Barnes.
This is the one.
Johnny
Now,
Barnes.
did you do the rap with him and catch it on camera?
Yes, I did. Yeah, yeah. So my because I own a football club. We haven't got to that bit yet, but
Yeah.
I do own a football club, Enfield Football Club, and they were in a cup final, and Razor was working down in Birmingham, and I hadn't seen Johnny Barnes for a while, so I said, right, I'll come up, and it was the week before the game, so and I said, right, I'm gonna have to get a video just for the boys, just to, get them going for their game, and then we sat there and was having a coffee, and it just come to me, you got to do the rap. So we went outside and we done the rap, and me and Razor were dancing around stupidly. Razor didn't remember the words, and Digger took over. He took over and stole the show, and that's what he
Yeah.
does. That's
And
what he
I'm
does.
I'm just assuming you're going to give me that video so I can use in this.
Yes,
Yeah,
I will do.
that's amazing.
Hold and give and do it at the right time.
You got to fing and ging and get to the line.
I haven't got a clue what they're doing, but this is what we're going to do. You got to hold and give, but do it at the right time. You can be slow or fast, but you must get to the line. They'll always hit you and hurt you. Defend and attack. There's only one way to beat them. Get round the back. So catch me if you can, cause I'm the infield man. And what you're looking at is the master plan. We ain't no hooligan. This ain't a football song. 3 lions on my chest. I know we can. We're playing for Enfield. Enfield!
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
back to Planet Earth.
Mm.
You own Enfield Football Club.
Yeah, I mean,
Or
Enfield Football
the
Club.
owners.
Yeah, I mean, Enfield Football Club came about. It's such a historic club. It's been going since 1893. I wasn't there then, though, Baz. So, but it's been a long time. And in the 80s, it was the number one non-league football club in the UK, and or right up there. To be fair, it was a very successful. It had a nightclub called the Starlight Rooms and blah de blah de blah. Well, when I separated from my wife and all the divorce was done and I was at home, my brother happened to be manager. Matt happened to be manager at Enfield, and he invited me over. And at the time, they they were surviving. That's what they were doing, and they didn't really have players had old tracksuits, and the kit was really old, and this, that, and the other. And me being me, I've gone in there, and I ended up being goalkeeping coach for 3 4 years, and we bought them some tracksuits, and we bought them some new kit, and we looked the part, and but it was really really enjoyable, and the fans were really enjoyable, enjoyed it all, and as things progressed on, they asked me to come on the board and be on the ownership, and which I was very happy to do, on the pretense that the current chairman remains the chairman, and the current vice chairman remains the vice chairman, and I just wanted to sit in the background but try and assist, and that's where we've been. Certainly for the last 5 years, we've really sort of I stopped doing the goalkeeping coach because I felt as though I couldn't really have a go at someone and then sit in the ballroom. It was it wasn't my thing really. And of course, it was time. It was time, and I pulled Razor in. He'd done a few coaching sessions with my brother Matt as well, and I really got to know the fans, and the fans are really they're great. They're so passionate about their team in non-league football, and you're still playing in the FA Cup, and you're playing, in the league. We were fortunate to win the league a couple of years ago. We've gone up to step 4. We've had a few issues with one of the directors, unfortunately, and it left a bit of a hole to deal with, which we've done, and we've stabilised the club. And the last 2 years, really, the club has been rebuilding back up, but we've maintained ourselves in step 4. There's some great teams that we come against, and there's some great people in non-league football for sure. And
Yeah.
and we try and make it to, like you said before, I like to try and welcome people in. I like to try and, be myself. And people who either take it or they leave it or whatever, but it seems to have a fantastic atmosphere. We get mascots coming over, and the kids really, really enjoy it, and we make sure they get signed balls, and they get, which at non-league football is not always the case on where you go, but to have those young fans coming in and people engaging in what you're doing, and the supporters pick the player of the game every week. And we don't go and buy a big bottle of champagne for them. I buy those £2 little proseccos because I think it's quite funny that we put that in a cup and present them with that, like a plastic cup. We put that in just
For
so that
all
it's
it
not
counts.
it's not about it's we could go and buy a big bottle and make it look a bit more special, but the players don't drink anyway. It's
Yeah.
more about the banter that you have with it, and involving the supporters into what you're trying to achieve. And Steve and Peter have been doing it for since the split, which is probably, I don't know, 25, 30 years ago now. And they're family, and were involved before that, and they do such a wonderful job. These people, they give up. We're very fortunate. We've got so many that give up their time to try and let people come through the door, try and make people feel like they're part of the club, and hopefully every one of our supporters feels like it's their club.
So, Lee, do you still talk to your first best friend?
Yes, I do. Yeah, yes, I
That was
do.
easy, wasn't
That
it?
was an easy one. I like that, Baz. I'm all right. Yes, I do.
Do
Um,
you care to elaborate on that?
no, it's someone. I won't go into names, but it's someone that I lived across the road from. We played football for God knows how many. Back in the day, we used to go and play football, especially in school holidays. At the age of 5 or 6, we'd be going to play football over the local park, and I'd have to be home by 6 o'clock before it got dark, and I'd normally, otherwise, I wouldn't be allowed to. Go out the following day, and I'd be
You'd lose your
running back.
privileges.
Oh, I'd be running back like anything. But you imagine now, 5, 6 year old, just playing football over the park from 1 o'clock in the afternoon or 10 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock at night, and and your mum and dad wouldn't be so worried about you from time to time. But you can't do that now. I couldn't do that with my
No.
daughter, and she's 17.
Well, I mean, if she wants to play football,
Yeah, well, yeah.
Lee.
Mm.
Okay. When you were younger, what did you aspire to become?
Oh, I thought about being a fireman, but then I don't like rats. And someone told me that the firemen have to go down the drains sometimes, and I didn't want to do that. So
That was the
then,
only thing that put you off.
and that put me off that. But then, footballer, like all kids,
Yeah.
wanted to do that. And then I dreamt of owning my own air conditioning and heating company, as you can imagine, Baz.
And now you live in the dream.
No, I'm just no. I didn't. I had a great childhood, great times, and I just wanted to do something sporty, really, which is yeah.
See, I think, like most men, there's an age you reach where you go, yeah, I'm not going to make it.
I'm gonna do something
Or
properly now.
was it like, okay, I still technically could?
No, it was
We
never really like that. I mean,
okay.
I ended up playing football with my brother and my cousin, and we played you know, for a football club close to where we was in Walthamstow. Then it moved down to we moved down to close by Southend Way, and we played around there. And I wouldn't have swapped it. Wouldn't have swapped it for anything. Although I just want to point out I could have done it, Baz. I scored over 100 goals at that level. It's a very
Well, there you
strong
go.
level. Just to make sure Paul Cannaville knows that.
I started coaching kids at 18.
Yeah.
No, 17. And yeah, it kind of died then. Anyway, so here's where we get into the nitty gritty.
Here we go.
What is the first person you dumped up to now?
First person I dumped up to now. When you are we where are we going with this, Baz?
Wherever you want it to.
Well. I was seeing. Do I want to go down there? I was, uh, I was seeing a hairdresser back in the day, and I did dump her quite ruthlessly. But
It
I think it
happens.
was, I was quite. I was still 21. I was fit as a fit. I had a six pack back then, Baz.
Wow.
But
And good hair.
yeah, good. I good hair. I've still got good hair. Some say I dye it, but I don't. I don't. It's
Well,
not.
if
It's
you were
very.
dating a hairdresser,
I was, yeah, very
yeah,
valid point. Yeah, but
strong.
yeah, yeah. Let's move on from that one, Buzz.
Are they at least hairdressing now?
Are they?
Are they hairdressing now?
I haven't spoke to them since I was
Fair
21.
enough. Okay, okay. Who is your best auntie or uncle?
Oh, now that's a real tough one because I've got a very, very close family. However,
You do
I
have a
will
family.
say this. My auntie Dot lives down the same road as where we grown up, and her and her husband now were like my second mum and dad. So I have to say, yeah, I would, but there are very, very close ones if they listen to this. Very close ones.
Okay, okay.
But yeah.
Right. When was the last time you cussed somebody out, or at least wanted to? Not including
Um,
the time I asked you about the first person you dumped.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't really. I
It's not
just
in your
I
nature.
get on with everyone. It's not really in my nature to really sort of go down that line. I've thought about it many times, Baz, and sometimes on a daily basis. But yeah, no, I'm very chilled. I take things in my stride. I don't really feel the need to cuss anyone from. So I'm good.
You're not even like a secret road rager, or
No,
no? Okay.
no, I'm not really. I drive like Miss Daisy. I drive very slow, and it's normally people having a go at me. But yeah, I'm quite relaxed. I'm quite chilled.
Okay.
That's
If there is
boring, isn't it?
one,
It's a boring
no,
one,
no,
but it's
not at
there,
all,
isn't
not
it,
at all.
Baz? You know, I'm only
This is
telling you
this
how
is
it
why we
is.
can edit. But also, it's your honest answer, which is,
Yeah, yeah.
the integrity is with you. If there's one thing you could ban from social behaviour, what would it be? Can I give you mine?
Yeah.
Whistling.
What's
Be,
whistling?
yeah, because I was in a pharmacy earlier, and I've Got a Feeling by Black Eyed Peas was playing in the in pharmacy radio, and then there was a dude whistling along. So you've got the song, which is catchy, stroke annoying, "Love You Will I Am," right?
Yeah.
But whistling, which is like, what gives you license? Whistling is like a shrill. It's not even like if
It's quite
birds do
invasive,
it.
isn't it?
It's harsh.
Yeah,
It's like, stop whistling.
yeah.
And it's not
Um,
like they're offering a new melody. Like they're just whistling the same thing on top of the thing that's already like underlining it.
mm, you got me thinking now. I think really bad singing.
Okay.
People think they're great on karaoke and really bad. Oh no, not for me.
Hmm.
If they're good, I'm all right with it. But if they're really bad, oh no.
Yeah, just don't do it. Like
Don't
everybody
put
likes
yourself.
to try it, but only so much.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. What was your strangest colleague like?
My strangest colleague.
Colleague, yeah. If you had one.
Hmm. What are we talking about? Other half? Or are we talking? What are we talking here?
No, we're talking about
Just
in a
anyone,
work
friend,
scenario.
work scenario, strangest
In a work
colleague.
scenario. Hmm.
So, oh God, there's a
That's
couple
okay.
here. Honestly, there's a couple here. Oh, where can we go? Um, I can't really go with that one. Uh, I can't. Oh God, it's very difficult, Baz,
That's a
because
difficult
I'll tell
question.
you for why. It's very difficult because I work for myself. Most of the strange people
Hmm.
yeah. Oh, I've got one. So there was a groundsman that used to work at Beckenham at the
Hmm.
sports ground that I used to work at, and every morning he used to turn up at the centre 6 o'clock in the morning, and he used to pull his strides down to his knees, right? And he used to move his bum cheeks and say, "Morning, Dave," to the Queen. And the
Like
Queen,
ventriloquism.
yeah, like that, weird, right? 6 o'clock in the morning, he's done this, and the fella's turned round. He's got his headphones on. He's made him jump, and all I can say is he threw the handle of the thing out, and it went where he didn't want it to go. Now that's probably the strangest thing that I've seen in the workplace, and yeah,
I mean, there's all kinds of HR barriers that have been
honestly,
torn down.
I just when I got told about it, and I was manager at the time, when I got told about it, I was crying. I thought it was hilarious. I thought it's got him back for doing it, and he'd never done it from there on, Baz.
I think the naked bare cheeks is a sackable offence, no?
It would be now. Back then, back
It
in
was
the
back
day,
then!
back then in the day, it was seen as jovial.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, here's one.
Go on.
And everybody's got one, I think.
Right.
What was your best birthday so far?
Well, my birthday this year,
Oh,
I went on a Caribbean cruise with 20 people.
nice.
And on my actual birthday, my daughter had booked a restaurant. I said, I'll cover it for the restaurant, and don't want people. So it was my mum and dad and family and friends, and Razor was there with his
Hmm.
kids, and there was a real mix of people there. And my daughter booked a restaurant, and it was the most amazing restaurant on the beach, and we rocked up in Antigua. And we rocked up on a boat up onto the beach,
Nice.
and had a lovely bit of lunch in the sea. My dad's got bad knees. It was good to see him in the sea, and
Hmm.
everyone was just, yeah. So that I would have to say that would be, yeah, my and of course I'm celebrating all year, hence why, obviously Monaco last week was just all
Is that a
part of
landmark
birthday
birthday
celebration.
you've hit?
Big 50, Baz. I know I
Oh,
don't look
wow.
it, but it's the big
No?
50. So, yeah, I'm celebrating that all year, actually. So, but so far, it's been the best by a country mile. It's been amazing.
I already know when I get to the big 50, it's not going to be that level.
Well, you never know. You never know, Baz.
I'm not going to be able to turn that around in 3 years.
Did you do the lottery?
Yeah, but I keep picking the
I
wrong
know,
numbers.
I know,
But
so do I.
okay, well, okay. So last two, because there's a couple that we've already covered.
Yeah,
Describe your dress sense.
my dress sense is smart casual, but I
Okay.
do like a bit of a sporty feel. If I'm just walking around, I'll be in a tracksuit or anything like that. If I come to work, my daughter's just started working at Reese. And I
Hmm.
should do a little tag out to Reese because Reese Clothing, look at this shirt I've got on here today, Bats. It's a lovely bit of velour.
It's divulges.
Yeah, it's so Reese Clothing I'm really into at the moment for some reason, and it's got
How are you spelling
nothing to
Reese?
do. Huh?
How are you
Reese,
spelling Reese?
RIESS.
Okay, okay, okay.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Nice.
Yeah, so I quite like smart. I'm a jeans kind of guy, I suppose, as
Hmm.
well. I wear trainers a lot. I don't like shoes. I'm not very. It's very rare now that I wear suits because I feel like you shouldn't have to wear a suit.
Hmm.
Some places insist on you wearing a suit, and I'd rather not go. I'm in smart casual. I want to feel comfortable. I'm at that age. I've gone comfort, Baz. Well, I've got Reese trainers. I've got Nike trainers.
Okay.
I'm a Nike man, really. I like Hugo Boss trainers, and but because I go to pick her up from Reese every time I go in there, oh, I like them. Oh, I'll get them, yeah. Oh, I'll
Hmm.
have them. So all of a sudden, I must have probably 50 pairs of trainers at home. It's just it's
I like
crazy.
that. The
And then every
impulsive
time
buying.
I find a pair that I think to myself, oh, I haven't worn it for. Oh, I like a new pair of trainers, they are, aren't they?
Hmm.
It's good. Yeah.
That's cool. I'm in the wrong job. Like, like the last time I bought trainers, I had this card where you can split it into 4 payments, and I was like, yeah, I'll buy
Yeah,
those
but
because I can.
that's all right. What size are you, Baz? I'll send you some down. You can try 'em.
10,
10.
like I'm not
Ah,
proud.
right, okay. All right. You leave that with me.
Okay, this question actually interests me more than it should do. What fragrances do you wear?
Now, I used to be a Creed man.
It's me too.
Love Creed. I think
Which one?
The
Aventus,
Aventus,
yeah.
lovely. But I've just gone on to Louis Vuitton Ombre. Oh, it's a game changer, Baz. It's a game changer.
So
And
you actually wear statement fragrances.
well,
There's an
I
intention with your
also like
fragrance.
Tom Ford,
Yeah.
there's Tom Ford that I've just got. But they're what I wear. Yeah, they're what I wear.
So are you wearing it more for because you like the smell, you like the exclusivity, or do you just like to turn a head? Because I
No,
do a bit of both.
I actually wear it for me, but it
Okay.
does turn a lot of heads.
Hmm.
The amount of people that come up to me and say, what are you wearing? What are you wearing?" And then I feel a bit embarrassed saying Louis Vuitton. It's like, but
See.
it's just like. But what's really good, I've just found out there. So I've been buying these things for like Creed and
Hmm.
Louis Vuitton. I've probably been buying them for the past 5 6 years, really, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone to those two now. They're expensive now, aren't they?
They are
Right,
very expensive.
really expensive. Something like 340 quid, right, for this one. Unless you go back to Selfridges and you get them to refill it, and it's only 200 quid. I
Mm-hmm.
didn't know you could refill them.
They're still expensive, by the way.
Yeah, but it's half price nearly, isn't it?
Yeah, I see. I discovered Creed Aventus in 2010, just when they were launching in Selfridges.
Yeah,
And I'm a bit of a fragrance buff. Okay,
yeah.
so I'm walking through Selfridges in a Trafford Centre in Manchester because I lived up north back then. And she went, "Do you want to smell this?" I went, "Sure." And she sprayed it on the little tester strip, and I smelt it, and I went, "Hold on, let me. I need to." Uh, like, it was like
It's
the world
lovely, isn't it?
changed.
Yeah,
And I went outside, and I went, I went, how? I went back in and I went, how much is this? And I think she said, what did I get? Because I didn't get the one up from 30 mil. So I think it was like, at the time, 170 for like 90 mil. And I mean, that's 15 years ago, right?
Yeah.
And I went, okay. And I think I actually texted my wife at the time. No, wait. I actually text my wife now. She wasn't my wife at the time. And I went, I need you to talk some sense into me. I've just found this fragrance. It's 170 quid. And she went, what's it like? And I went, it's just, you know. So I ended up buying it.
Yeah.
And everywhere I went, and it was dudes, like heterosexual dudes going, oi, mate, not being funny, but what are you wearing?
Yeah.
Because I need that.
I get that all the time. I get that, men and women, just all the time at the moment with the ombre Louis Vuitton. I just get that all the time, but I used to get that with Creed as well. And it's I mean it's just, it's not, it makes you feel good, right? You're going out and you just feel good. You just, that's it.
Because that's the one thing you can't smell good.
No.
You can. It is an art form.
Hmm?
You can smell good like how everybody else smells good, or you can smell good just like in the way that you smell good, and that.
I mean, I get people saying to me now. I walked past someone with that on, and I thought it was you. Like, all right, yeah, it wasn't.
Yeah. My favourite is, oh, who smells nice?
Yeah.
And then they come over to you and they go, it's you, and you're like,
I know. Sorry.
I'll tell you what else. The first time I discovered that feeling, cool water.
Cool water. There you go. Boss. Back in the day, I had a bit of Boss. Yeah. No, it's good. Izzy Miyake.
Yeah. Wow.
That's good.
Right.
That's good.
Lee, thank you so much for giving me your time.
Absolute pleasure.
I barely know you. I know you a little bit more now. So have you got anything now that you just want to kind of go, this is what I'm up to, check this out, or you're not fussed?
I haven't really. I mean, it's, yeah. I mean, I've covered it really. I suppose putting something in about page 130 on Razor's book tells you all about how we met. That might be good.
So he actually name checks you in his book.
Yeah. I was best man at his wedding as well. You know, but his book Toxic came out in October. It's just coming out on paperback now.
So that's Neil Razor Ruddock, Toxic.
Yeah. Page 130, Baz. Page 130.
So that's his autobiography, and you're on page 130.
And 131 and 132, I think. I mean, I don't know. I haven't read it much, but it's.
I mean, what's the rest of the book like, Lee?
To be honest, this book that he's done, I'm so proud of him for doing it, because it's the first time he's done a real book and about what he was going through and mental health challenges that no one really associates with him. So having known him as well as I do, and you know, seeing what he's gone through, and you know, that people just don't see, and to be able to read it and understand it, and of course I know it, but people don't. So when you do read it, you really get an insight into what life in the public eye is, and that's you know.
Would you say you are his straight man?
He's straight man, yeah. I would say I'm funnier. I'm funnier than he is as well, Baz.
Oh, so maybe he's your straight man.
I think no, I'll be his straight man. I can, yeah. I know his jokes when they're coming.
Well, Lee, it's also great just to sort of put you in the spotlight. So I'm going to have fun putting clips out of you, because I've always bought into how fantastic and how fantastically funny you are as well, and what a nice gentleman you are. So again,
Appreciate
I
it.
say thank you for your time. And whenever you want to do one of these, it will be the shortened 3-minute version. Just give us a shout and we'll hang out.
Good shout. We'll do that.
Okay, my friend.
Baz, thanks for what you've done. Appreciate.
No worries.
And catch up soon, mate.
I barely know you.
FaceyCreative.com